College is Real started in 2005 as the result of a soccer game between Richmond High School and Monte Vista High School. And after the game, the Richmond team displayed great sportsmanship. And as a result of that, a team I was coaching decided to make a donation to the Richmond High soccer program. I ended up meeting the coach of the Richmond High team, Renee Silas, and we talked about what the Richmond soccer program needed. And he said, well, what these kids really need a sense of hope and something to do after they got out of high school. Since 2005, when the program started with 16 boys on the varsity soccer team, we've grown to now have about 200 students in the program at Richmond High School and another 75 at De Anza High School.
The mission is a pure one. It's basically helping these kids through education improve their lives.
We provide students with an opportunity to attend tutoring after school. We also have the mentor component, so we have 2 different models, and then we have a guaranteed scholarship. So everybody that participates in our program is eligible for a scholarship.
So when we started the program, we had a very simple objective with our original 16 students, and that was that 50% of them apply to college. Not necessarily get in or go to college, just apply. And over time, we've changed that goal so that now, not only does everyone apply, they apply to multiple schools, and our goal is to have every single one of our students get accepted and to attend a 4-year college.
During my sophomore year, I was really facing a really big challenge. My grandma, she was like my best friend ever, and she was going through cancer. My grades just completely slipped, and I just didn't know what to do after that. That's when everything just went downhill. The next year, I met Damaris and College is Real, and they actually kind of guided me through where I needed to be and what I should do.
To be honest, my dad didn't really had a good influence on me. You know, he beat my mom. We ended up leaving my dad and we moved to San Pablo with my grandma, and we had to share 4 people on one mattress and stuff. Honestly, I don't think I'd be applying to colleges if I wasn't in College is Real.
Most of my childhood was mostly my parents working. They weren't really as involved just because most of the meetings were in English. My mom would be the one mostly with me. She would struggle, so I would always be translating for her.
As a mentor, I care about the academic life and getting your academics right, but I also care about these kids becoming citizens. And these kids are growing up so much faster than other children who can just be children. And that's something that's not going to go away. As long as there's a single parent household, as long as there's somebody selling drugs on the corner of a street, you're gonna have to grow up real quick. Innocence is lost. So how do you tell a child who's lost their innocence to be a child? You can't. You have to help them grow to being an adult because they're headed that way anyway. And how do you want to shape that?
Angie especially, she was my guide, and without her, I don't know if I would have graduated. I don't know if I would have gone to college. But she's my mom, pretty much. She was always on top of me getting my stuff done, even if I wasn't at Richmond High anymore.
Starting sophomore year, my mom got diagnosed with cancer. Doing that and my sister having a child, babysitting her. And then there would have came a time where these girls, for some reason, the varsity girls didn't like me. So they would harass me and bully me in the hallways. And I didn't want to talk to anybody about it. And Angie, I would say she was there for me. When college apps were due, I procrastinated a lot. Mm-hmm. And it was me, Destiny, Angie, Jessica. We were there till 10:30 at night doing our college apps, and them just everybody collabing and just working on minds was these people really care.
If College Real wasn't here, I don't think it would be, a lot of those students would have not made it. I mean, when I first came to Richmond High, I can say with almost certainty, very few students were going to college.
I feel that in this community especially, there's a lot of opportunities for kids to go in the wrong direction. Sometimes there's not enough funding for programs.
These kids are either first-generation Americans or their parents came here as children, leaving their home countries, where they face difficult situations coming to America to live the American dream.
My mentor, who is David, he has pushed me even in the moments where I felt like I was not going to be able to make it anymore. There has been points through high school where I felt like I couldn't make it and maybe I was going to drop out and go straight into the workforce. That's when my mentor stepped in and he said, no, education is what's going to take you further. Working a job is just 8 hours a day and a 30-minute break. Working a career is being able to do what you like, and you have to see the bigger picture. For right now, this is just a small period of time in your life. Don't throw it all away. Those words have impacted me and just kept me going.
My first year at UC Santa Barbara was interesting. My family didn't really contribute any help there. So then I actually had to take out a loan my second quarter, and then I actually had to reduce my meal plans in order to pay for school. So I would kind of starve myself to get myself through school. I took a semester off of school. After that, I kind of just felt like I wasn't doing anything, and I talked to Angie a little bit. She talked to me and she said, you know what, we need a tutor. So I became the tutor for College is Real. Where you see yourself is not where you're meant to be sometimes. And I think that through College is Real, I've actually seen that happen to me. I'll be returning back to UC Santa Barbara as a junior, and I currently work as the assistant program director for College is Real.
College was never a discussion in my family. I don't have parents, so I didn't grow up with parents. I come from a household in which my only kind of support system was my two brothers, but they also have their own families, so of course they couldn't provide any kind of conversation about that. And themselves, they didn't even graduate in middle school.
I had the honor of walking with one of the students. So his mom had passed away, and I had met her when he was in high school, and he was undocumented, and his dad made the decision to take his mother's body back to Mexico, which meant that he couldn't come back, and the student couldn't head over to Mexico either. When he graduated, neither one of his parents were able to attend the graduation. And so he happened to come in to invite me and said, oh yeah, I got a ticket for you. And I said, oh, I'm just curious who's gonna walk with you, because he was graduating from Berkeley, and I knew that you can have two people walk with you. And he's like, that's actually what I wanted to talk to you about. You know, I wanted to have you walk with me. And of course I cried.
College is Real provided me a place of guidance, a place of love, a place of positivity. And those three things is something that I lacked of because of my situation at home. It was just hard because me and my family were moving from place to place, and we didn't have a stable home. It gave me a place, basically a home, and I didn't have a home, so it was just great for me to move to College is Real and just have that guidance.
On Friday, I learned that I got accepted to UCLA. Well, my first reaction was, I didn't believe it because I kept going in my head like, me, I got accepted.
I am an undocumented student, and I still am. I currently have DACA. So College is Real was very helpful for me, just not only to guide me through the college application process, but also through what my process was going to be like for being undocumented.
I've always been a student that has cared about education, but when I got to high school, I still care about education. I just didn't know how I was gonna move on forward from there. I didn't know what the steps I needed to take to make it to college. What College is Real did, they made that path clear. They provided me with the resources. They provided me with the guidance that has made everything up to this point possible.
I got in! Oh my God! Oh my God, Angie, I got in! Oh my God, Angie.